Hey you, wanna see a movie where... Oh god, where's she putting that hand? Yup, we have a new Netflix horror starring Allison Williams. Nope, not that one. The Perfection tells the tale of Charlotte Wilmore, a cello prodigy who must give up her dreams of being a famous cellist to take care of her dying mother. And to be honest, I was into this movie for the first 20 minutes or so, until this happened.
Help me! Help me, Charlotte! You know what you have to do.
Okay, enough of that. But let's rewind for a moment and let me try to explain what I didn't like about this movie for those of you who have no intention of watching it. After the death of her mother, Charlotte goes in search of her mentor Anton, who she studied with at the prestigious Back-Off Academy. At the Shanghai Opera, she's introduced to Elizabeth Wells, also a mentee of Anton's. She's arguably the most famous cellist in the world. They have a romantic tryst, head off into the rural outskirts of China, and Charlotte convinces Liz to chop off her hand. Oh, and it gets worse. Which brings me to my point. This movie makes no sense. The first 40 minutes takes place in China, where we follow Charlotte, who kind of aimlessly meanders about. She's there to see if she can rejoin Anton, but 10 minutes in decides to gallivant with Liz and seems to forget why she was there to begin with. This all leads to the climactic midpoint where we find out Charlotte has drugged Liz so that she'll hallucinate and chop off her own hand. The amount of hoops Charlotte has to go through to get Liz to chop off her hand are staggering. First, she has to drug her, accentuate the drug's effects with alcohol, steal a butcher knife which will later be used to cut off her hand, plant the seed that bugs are on her when they get on the bus, Google how to improvise a tourniquet, have the bus driver desert them, and then finally have her cut off her own arm. But the worst part of this whole thing is the fact Charlotte is even doing this in the first place. We're kinda led to believe this might be a jealousy thing, but as we'll later find out, Anton runs a child pedophile ring where he rapes his proteges in order to make them the perfect musician. But it gets worse. Instead of going after Anton, Charlotte decides to go after the rape victim, Liz, chopping off her only means of a livelihood. In her mind, Charlotte is doing Liz a favor, so that she'll come to the realization she's been brainwashed, and apparently the only way this can be done is by chopping off her hand. After that, Charlotte just kinda goes back to her life, and I was like, great, movie's over. But no. Liz goes back to Anton and is shunned by him because she has no hand. So in an effort to get back into his good books, she decides to kidnap Charlotte. Not confusing at all. How is kidnapping Charlotte going to make Anton magically accept you? Anton hasn't given a shit about Charlotte, and he never went after her after she left to take care of her mom. Anyways, now that she's here, Anton decides, well, guess we might as well abuse her, chaining her up in Jimmy Choo's to perform a task called the Perfection. If she can play a piece perfectly without missing a note, he'll let her go. If she fails, him and the other teachers, well, you know, even his wife is in on it. But Liz is actually working with Charlotte and she drugs the other teachers. We get this flashback of her breaking into Charlotte's house and tasering her only for Liz to tell her she was right all along. Chopping off her hand made her see how evil Anton was. You could have just rang the doorbell and been like, hey girl, you were right. So they end up basically amputating Anton, also taking out his eyes and tongue, forcing him to listen to the two of them play the cello as a duet with their two working arms. Now yes, it is kinda cool and fucked up, but it makes no sense. First, to fully amputate a dude like this and make sure he doesn't die, you need professional surgeons. Second, several months would have needed to pass in order for him to get in this state. Also, where did the bodies of the other teachers go? Is no one looking for them? Where are the other students who supposedly live in this building? So in this movie, we have a main character who doesn't really do anything, a rape victim who's punished for being the victim of abuse, characters driven by ridiculous motivations, and a scene where a stump almost goes up a woman's hoo-ha. I give this movie 5 chopped hands out of 10. Hey, thanks for watching everyone. If you like these types of videos, please let me know by giving the video a like, comment, and subscribe. I've got a video of Doom Patrol coming out soon, which you haven't seen, I highly recommend. Until next time, remember, Daddy loves you very much.